Hello, everyone. Welcome to this edition of the Fuel for the Soul with John Giftah podcast. It's such a joy for me to join you guys today, as through this week, we've been looking at various lessons that we can take away from the incident recorded in Acts chapter 12, verses 1 to 5. Okay, today, one of the things I want to really help you understand or look at is the fact that King Herod just killed the apostle James. And now what happened is that he saw that this was pleasing to the Jewish people. So he also arrested Peter. If you look at verse 3, it says, this took place during the Passover celebration. So during that time, he did not want to do this and create more ruckus. So what did he do? He imprisoned Peter, placing him under the guard of 16 soldiers. And listen to this carefully. Herod intended to bring Peter out for public trial after the Passover. And while Peter was in prison, the church prayed for him earnestly. Now, I want you to understand something here, right? James was killed. Now, Peter is on a similar boat. But here's the thing. It so happened that when Peter was arrested by King Herod, it was during the Passover time. And because of that, it helped him buy some time, during which the church prayed for Peter, and the output was different for Peter when he was supernaturally released. So I want you to think about this. What looked like a random incident? Oh, it's just a random thing. Oh, after Apostle James, he arrested Apostle Peter. It looked like a random incident. But even in that random incident, it looked like, oh, you know what? It so happened that Peter was arrested during Passover time. So Peter had to buy some time. I mean, he had to get some time in the prison by the time he will be killed. But here's the thing. Even a random incident was divinely orchestrated or divinely timed. Can you think about that part? Because it happened during the Passover time, Peter was able to get some time, during which the church prayed for him earnestly, and the output changed for Peter. If this was also before the Passover, if it was not during the Passover time, then Peter also could have immediately been killed like the Apostle James. Think about it. So even a random thing was actually divinely orchestrated. What I want you to understand is, when you least expect it, God knows how to randomly orchestrate things in your life. You may think it's just by chance, it's just by coincidence, it just randomly happened. No, nothing happens randomly. God is divinely orchestrating things. See, there was a time when I was actually praying that I wanted to migrate these podcasts from the daily podcasts being only audio to become video. Okay, so I randomly checked out different options that were available, different things. Nothing was working out. And I was like, oh my gosh, this doesn't make sense. And randomly, I happened to meet someone in a conference a couple of months ago. And we never exchanged any conversation after that, to be honest. And it so happened just about 2 or 3 weeks ago, she connected with me saying, hey, John, I really like the content that you post. Can you help me connect me with the studio? And I looked at different options that were available, which was not exactly working out for me. I said, why don't you try this or try that? And in that process, she happened to stumble upon a studio from where I'm recording right now. Okay. And we got connected, and here I am able to record this. See, it looks like a random event, like randomly meeting someone, random conversation with someone asking me about a studio. And here I am, and the podcast is now been on video format along with audio format since this week, and it's going to continue for the next, as long as the Lord allows, right? So think about this. What looked random was actually part of divine timing. It didn't happen before, it didn't happen later, it happened when God ordained. See, same thing with Peter. How did God ordain for Peter to be arrested exactly during Passover so that he can buy some time when the supernatural miracle can happen? See, think about this. Even a simple thing like that is part of God's design, God's plan. You may think, why isn't this working out? Why isn't that happening? Maybe God is orchestrating something behind the scenes. Why isn't this working out the way I thought it would? Maybe God is allowing you to go through this situation so that you can be coming out with a better testimony for His glory. Maybe you're looking at your situation and thinking, this is just random. No. What if that random conversation with that person is going to change the trajectory of your life? What if that random encounter is going to make a turnaround in your life? So today I want to challenge you guys, even as we are coming to the end of this week, just think about this. areas in your life where you're feeling like, John, there's so much to take away, there's so much of things happening, why don't you just say, God, Lord, I trust you. I believe that you have good plans for me. Even when I don't understand it, I believe that you're in control. See, even in the negative thing, like the Apostle Peter being imprisoned, there was the sign where God was in control by arresting him during the Passover. So even in random things, God is in control. Even in the random things of your life, God will be in control, and God is in control. And when you trust that, you will be in a place of peace, trust, rest, and you can relax and say, you know what, God, you're in control, and I can choose to trust you with all my heart. I really challenge you to share this with someone, to encourage them. Leave a comment if you're checking this on YouTube, and I will see you back very soon. God bless you.